Every filmmaker starts somewhere, and usually that somewhere is filled with mistakes. My name is John Earl, and today I'm looking back at two of my short films to show you exactly how I went from a boy creating a video to somewhat of an indie film director telling a story. And before I begin, there's something that I must confess. Yes, I did buzz my hair. And yes, I'm going to be wearing a hat today. And no, I'm not going to be working in a barbershop anytime soon. The two films that we are going to be comparing today are, drumroll please, The Black Sword and Unoriginal. I want to show you the exact technical shifts that took my work from a hobby project to looking like a real film, specifically at how I evolved the close-ups, the VFX, and the lighting. Let's start with the fundamentals. Shot composition, specifically the close-up. In The Black Sword, I knew I needed the close-up for emotional impact, but look at this shot. The framing is standard, everything seems good, but it's not great. And that's because The Black Sword is unique. The Black Sword was filmed entirely on this iPhone. You can tell in this shot that I use my arm as a crane, and I slowly go in using my anatomical system. Until we get to this shot, right here, my big glorious nose. Now look at this close-up from Unoriginal. Do you notice the difference? Here, I understand camera psychology better, and specifically the camera psychology of using a physical camera. Here's a close-up of President Rick Sheevy. The framing is deliberate, drawing your eyes exactly where they need to capture the actor's performance. A close-up isn't just getting close to the actor. It's about eliminating the distractions in the background to force the audience into the character's headspace. For example, in this shot of President Rick Sheevy, he's contemplating something. He's thinking about what the original host had just told him, that his DNA is a shallow pool, that it's weak. This does a far better job than what I have on the right of my screen. Let's watch this scene from The Black Sword. When you're starting out, VFX is incredibly exciting, but it's incredibly easy to overdo it or execute it poorly because of time constraints or what have you. In The Black Sword, I was ambitious. Looking back, you can see where the seams show. For example, there's a standard of realism you must uphold. Having a helicopter take off in a residential neighborhood does not seem very realistic. And not to mention that the digital elements don't track as properly as they ought to. It's a classic trap, letting the effects distract from the story rather than tell it. Now here is a scene from Unoriginal. There's more. Instead of trying to force massive Hollywood-level effects, I focused on the seamless integration. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, Yaxton Barnacle and President Rick Sheevy are walking down this hallway. You can't even tell that the clip is separated. It looks realistic. It literally looks like two of myself walking down a skyway in Minneapolis. And Unoriginal, the VFX serve the scene, rather than trying to be the scene. Finally, let's talk about the atmosphere, lighting, and filters. I have two clips here, practically almost the same shot. The one on the left from Unoriginal uses lighting and filters, and the one on the right from The Black Sword does not. The reason The Black Sword doesn't look like a film, more like a video, is because I did not use lighting properly. For example, here, there is no filters, there's no artificial lighting whatsoever. It's just natural light. And it looks like anyone could film this. Here's another example of using the light given. And you can tell it doesn't match. It doesn't look cinematic. However, in Unoriginal, this shot right here, the approach is night and day. Literally, instead of trying to force a shot during the daytime, I would wait until the sun sets and force it when there is less light, so I could influence the lighting myself. I use precise color grading to show the blood on my face and to enhance natural skin tones, while also pulling the background into a specific palette. You can see this kind of a dark blue kind of green. I think that's the right color, but I digress. This is what creates that depth and texture that separates an amateur video from a cinematic project. In conclusion, the point of comparing the Black Sword and Unoriginal is not to roast my old work. It is to show that filmmaking and acting is a practice. So if you look back at any of your old work and cringe, congratulations. That means that you've grown. Because the only way to get better is to make things and make mistakes. I put links to both the Black Sword and Unoriginal in the description below so that you can see these in full yourself. If you want more of these filmmaking breakdowns, like this video, and I have one last thing for you. Go make something today. God bless you.